What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Every Week We Follow. So today, we don't really know what the hell we're going to talk about. So we've just called it the silly transfer merry-go-round.
Go
And
around.
we're just going to chat a little bit about some of the stupid rumours that are going around, some of the funny things, some of the photos that are doing the rounds on social media as well. And obviously, we want to plug that lovely football that Gary's got going on here, which we will talk about
What games?
very soon. What games? Anyway, how you doing, guys?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Just again, plug the ball. Like and subscribe. Donation, please. £5.
Please donate.
We're up to £120.
We are currently on 120 quid. Yeah.
So you've got plenty of time, guys. But just share and like and subscribe, and let's see if we can get to £1,000. And then we're doing the draw in November, and this will be yours in time for Christmas. Woo! And it'll make an awesome gift. So please, like, subscribe to the channel, and donate, and you could be in a chance to be.
Even if you're not doing it for the ball, if you just want to donate to a good cause, something that's close to both of our hearts, that would be wonderful. It's sometimes a bit demoralizing just seeing it not move. Anyway, Gary, how you doing?
Acorns. So yeah, I'm good, mate. It's been a weekend of traveling everywhere, mate. Football is still present in my life. I've been at a tournament all day yesterday with my daughter. It was rubbish. We were terrible. Pre-season's awful. They need. It's the first kind of time they've had a couple of weeks off. Basically, the girls have, and they just looked like they hadn't played together. It was weird.
That's like a preview to Villa's pre-season.
That's exactly what I thought, mate. What's going on?
Losing 3-0 to Warsaw. Oh God, what's going on?
Meltdown. Often that's it. Villa is shit. We're getting relegated. Sell out the whole squad. Yeah. So no, I'm good, mate. How are you? How's your week been?
Yeah, not bad actually. It was the wife's birthday and stuff. We went to Mablethorpe on the East Coast. That's why I've got a little bit of a tan going on. This was closer to the colour of your shirt, probably about 2 days ago. I did not wear sun cream, as everyone keeps telling me I should, but I never do because I just go golden brown generally. So I don't bother.
Well, that's lovely, mate. I appreciate that. But skin cancer still does exist, mate. And
I know.
Because you've got this. Your family, I know, have got those genes. Same as Sarah. Like, she can sit in the sun. She goes red for a bit and then turns a golden brown. It's beautiful. You're very lucky. I hate you all with this pale, pasty white bald head that just fries and goes back to pale white. However, right. I need you. You can't be getting skin cancer like that now.
I know this is ridiculous. Like, he's sitting there talking about cancer, and I'm like, I just can't stand sun cream. It's horrible. Like, it's just this greasy, horrible stuff. And I mean, I don't really like sand either. So I'm not a big fan of sand, right? So like, apparently, when I remember vividly, I don't know how, but when I was a kid, I used to get like sand in my mouth. I'm like, like horrible, right? I didn't like it. And then I remember telling my dad this, and he was like, "What are you on about?" He said, "You were literally sat there shuffling sand into your mouth." And I was like, I remember hating it, so I don't know why. It gets into every crevice, and I hate it. And when you're wearing sun cream, your skin, like, because all your skin goes like greasy stuff, right? And then it all clings to you, and it sticks to you. And then you go in the sea, and then it turns into like a paste, and then you go on the beach and it sticks to you again. I just can't. It's just stressful. It's stressful. Bring me a Pebble Beach any day. Pebble Beach.
Mate, that's going to be fun. I mean, I don't know what we're talking about now.
Look, if I was a footballer, I wouldn't be transferring to Spain. I don't want to go to any of them beaches or anything like that.
In the comments, guys, Pebble Beach or Sandy Beach, which do you prefer?
Yeah, put me in the Bundesliga. I'll be happy in the cold. I'm happy in the nice cold. Wrap up warm, put a little jacket on. You know, when you get like the duvet at night, it's like a big 12 tog. It's like, it's like the greatest thing ever. Nothing worse than going to bed in the summer. It's horrible.
Yeah. Well, this week's been horrible, mate. It's been hotter than hell. But yeah, it is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyway,
summertime. Let's sound like a right bunch of literally middle-aged men complaining about sand and the weather.
Subscribe, donate. Anyway, yes. So the main things doing the rounds. Obviously, like I said, I didn't really get to look at the news very much of the weekend because I was very, very busy. But like the stuff I've seen, I mean, Emiliano Martinez keeps doing the rounds at the moment. It sounds like that's. I don't know, but it sounds like there might be stuff happening with Man U. Who knows? I think. Let's start with Emmy. Apparently, basically, we're just waiting for a formal offer. I think that's all we're waiting for.
Yeah, I don't think that will happen until after next week, mate. If I'm honest, like I think once that June 30th cut off is done, I think that's when we'll see which big money earnings going, because that'll be going to the SCR, won't it? So we'll just have to wait until next week, I think, before anything is confirmed. I'm holding out hope, mate, because I've been a bit disappointed over the weekend. I've read a lot of stuff on Twitter, a lot of hate going towards Emery, and I'm like, fucking hell, what's going on? Like, there's nothing.
Twitter's a dark place, though, mate. Twitter's horrible.
It is a dark place, but you just go, people are brain dead. Like, there's nothing. Right, it's all speculation. There's been no contact from anyone, right, from club or anything like that. That we don't even know what's happening. Like, it's just pure media speculation, because that's what gets clicks, and it's clickbait for me. Right, so until there's a formal offer made, or till something serious like happens, and he actually comes out on TV and Martinez goes, "I want to go to Man United," it's all bullshit, right? And I'm sticking by, and I'm holding on to the hope that his wife went on to BBWM last week. I've said this several times, and said he's just an emotional guy. That's why he was crying against Spurs. And I've just opened this brand new store in Tamworth. We're going nowhere, right? And until that changes, like,
is that what she said?
Well, pretty much, yeah. Like, he's happy. Like, so look, it might just be. Obviously, it makes no difference when you're a multimillionaire. You can live anywhere in the world and just work remotely.
That's
it's not a problem.
You don't. Right, but you don't have, I don't know, but I don't imagine is she stood behind the behind the till, like serving? I'm presuming she can manage it from anywhere.
Don't damage my hope. You know, it's the hope that kills you. But I want to. For me, the Emmy one is the only player I really want to keep. Anyone else is up for grabs, mate. For me, but Emmy, I don't know. I
don't know about that. Like, obviously, I love Emmy, and I think there's a lot of players that I don't think there's many players that. I think for me, two for me. There's two who I would be like right now. We cannot lose them, and that's Kamara and Tielemans for me.
Yeah, I agree. I was just saying the stream, mate. Emily and those two for me. That's it. Keep them, and everyone's else is up for grabs. Like, if you can get money, because that's. I don't know. I think that they're the three most important players on form and fit. And the fact that Kamara missed most of last season, if we can keep him fit and he can, whether he's going to run down his contract and, see if we get Champions League, I don't know. But for me, he's the most important player we've had in a while, Kamara. Because he's the only player, like we said, we've talked about this before, in that we miss when he doesn't play.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, even Tielemans to a certain degree. When Tielemans missed the last couple of games of the season, which was unfortunate, I thought Onana played really well and stepped up in that position. So we've got a possibility there. But Kamara, he's a Rolls Royce, mate. I think he's a rare breed, and I think you've got to keep him at all costs.
Yeah, no, I agree. But back on the Emmy thing, I mean, the other thing that I want to say it definitely signals that we are open or something's happening and there's conversations, is the links with Chevalier, which also apparently is quite firm. Dan Bardell on the 1874 has contacts with France, and there's some very, very, very legit people out there, kind of the Fabrizio Romano of France kind of thing, saying we are talking about to Lille about Chevalier.
I would two things about that, because obviously I have heard those speculations. One,
he's not putting it as number two.
Well, one, it's a downgrade, in my opinion, right?
He's a lot younger, right?
Well, maybe, but we still need another goalkeeper. I know you just said there he's not coming as a number two, but we haven't got any goalkeepers. So someone has to come and be a number two. Like, he might not want to come and play number two. Maybe he wants to come and unearth. I mean, maybe it's a thing for the future. And the fact that Emmy will go, okay, I'll give you one more season because I really want to try and win something with the Villa. And then he goes and you have him as an understudy. And he's gone, actually, to go to a club that is going places and for a World Cup winning goalkeeper to be my mentor is not a bad move for me. I'm just I just don't. For me, it's not the right time to get rid of Emery. I think it's a mistake. And if he goes to Man United, that club are a joke, mate. They're a joke, which leads me on to what has made me laugh so hard over the weekend, right? Watching the meltdown on social media of Man United fans. This picture is fucking outstanding. It's outstanding.
I mean, he knows, like I said, he knows what he's doing there, right? Like he's pulling the shirt down.
Mm.
It's definitely him as well, isn't it? Isn't a look-alike or something?
No.
Attention. I'm looking at the face. I'm not. But like you, I think you said that Rashford like commented on it as well, so it has to be him.
He put my brother with a heart, right? And now what makes it even funnier? So when this picture came out, like the internet went into meltdown. Garnacho is a prick. Like, what's he doing? He's he's what disrespect is this?
He's getting out of a club that's burning to the ground. That's what he's doing.
Yeah. And he's and then when Rashford comment on it, it just like honestly this morning I've woke up to like just people like Man United fans going into meltdown about it, like and basically I think that's the final nail in the coffin. He'll be going wherever he is.
Amorim doesn't play him, right? So what? Not really. He doesn't play. No. He's not a starter. So I'm just like, well, what do you think he was going to do? Just sit and warm your bench? I mean, for me, I'm still kind of looking at it. I'm still like, I'm not sure. Like, I'm just like I've always seen him at Man U, and I've gone, there's a player there. Like
he's got potential, mate.
Like, yeah, but I'm kind of, I don't know. Unless, like I said, Emery always talks about wanting options and players who can play in different positions. He can play on the left. Can he play anywhere else? Does he play the other wing? He doesn't play in the centre or anything, does he?
I don't think so. I mean, again, I don't follow Man United because I hate them, and watching this meltdown is fucking brilliant, right? And this is why I say to go. And you mentioned this to me earlier about the only thing I worry about is if I don't think Garnacho would come on its own, but if Martinez is going to go to Man United, is there something being talked about him coming the other way?
Yeah, potentially.
You don't know, do you? And again, this is all this speculation. And for me, again, we don't need a left-sided player. I think we've got enough options there.
Yeah, so this is the thing, right?
Again, that's not a good deal for us.
And this is the thing, and like I said, unless he can play both wings, it's kind of like we've talked quite a lot about how Rashford and Asensio came in wasn't great for Marlon or Rodgers, and I'm kind of like, I don't know how Marlon gets in the team if we're playing with a left winger, because we're not also going to play with a wide right. I think we've discussed before about Marlon potentially just playing as another striker or as a number 10 or as like a kind of a box crasher type player. But yeah, it's just a weird one for me. Obviously, it seems quite obvious that perhaps Emery does want to he wanted Rashford. And he still probably wants Rashford, and he still wants someone on that left, perhaps. So maybe this is the alternative, because we can't afford Rashford because of his wages, and he's trying. I want to play with Jamal, all that rubbish.
I will say, if you've seen that video, because he was being interviewed by somebody, Rashford was, when he said that over the weekend. He's obviously clearly somewhere on holiday, but he looked in great shape. Rashford did.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was like, okay. Like, I mean, he might just be something saying that these are the players I want to play with. I haven't seen the full interview. I've only seen the snippet on social media, so I don't know where in terms of context. But could that be a real possibility that we are going to take a risk on him? If we make sales after next week and go, actually, Emery really likes him, likes what he saw, what he did, and feels like he can work with him more and get the best out of him.
You mean Rashford?
Rashford. But I don't think he will. Don't get me wrong. I'm trying to read between the lines, because
I think the only way
Barcelona. I don't see Barcelona wanting to buy Rashford.
No, I don't either. I think it only happens if the window keeps on going on and he hasn't gone anywhere. So I think if it's going to happen, it'll be like a last couple of days of the transfer window kind of thing, where Man U are like, we need to get him out, and we're like, you know what? We'll take him on loan again for another season. You know what I mean? Like,
yes, exactly. Because what I think Rashford's going to do, because I think obviously all ties have been severed at Man United. Like, they just want rid, right? And he will be quite happy to sit in their training ground, earning 350 grand a week, right, playing with the under 9s, right, until the end of August. Because he'll earn 700 grand in 2 months. Do you know what I mean? And just go, yep. And then I'll just go, and actually, you need to get me off your wage bill. So either loan me out, right? Do you know what I mean? And we could negotiate that maybe that, and get a full season out of him. That could be a possibility.
I think it's potentially the same thing with the Asensio deal as well. I think a lot of this stuff, some of these players might drag on a bit because we're not in a point of power, and we are. Those teams are going to be like wanting to get these players out. Just now onto the other wing, I suppose. The other person was Bailey. So Emmy Martinez and Bailey. It sounds like they're the two that
Well, he's trying
are
to put himself in the shop window. Did you see him for Jamaica? I mean, it was against Guatemala, whatever it was, but he hit the bar from the halfway line. Like it was a brilliant effort. Like, and he scored a goal.
What did he score or shoot from the halfway
line? No, so he shot from the halfway line, mate, and it was. I mean, the keeper watched it for miles, and he could. I thought, okay, just catch it out of the air, and he just watched it hit the crossbar, and I was like, "What are you doing?" Anyway, but it was a great effort, and he didn't score, but then he went on and equalised for Jamaica. And again,
I mean, we've always the Bailey thing's just a weird one, isn't it? Like we said,
inconsistent.
The season before last, he was electric.
Yeah,
and then last season, just a damp squib. It was just so
awful.
bad. I think he's the. I said I don't want to talk about PSR. I don't want to talk about all these acronyms that are going around at the moment. But if we're going to do a sale towards that, if we're going to do a sale that solves that, he probably is it. I think because it's about like 20 million or something. So
yeah.
The one. Like I said, the Emmy Martinez one's probably more future proofing against SCR, and I think that's also why Luca Dean will go. Is it Atletico Madrid?
I mean, it makes sense. I don't necessarily want to sell Dina, but I think he's on 120, 130 grand a week, isn't he? So I think
he's on high. Well, I think he might even be more than that, but he's on high wages.
Yeah.
And also it sounds like he's not a starter now. So to have someone on that level of wages,
salary.
as your kind of second. Matson, by the way, you see him in the
quality, mate.
What a ball!
Yeah.
Unreal.
Mate, I said to you last season, like, this kid's a player, like, and people have been critical of him, but I think because of his defensive qualities, he didn't start brilliantly when he did play defensively, and he had a struggle to settle in, really. But again, I'm convinced that comes down to lack of game time. I think if he'd have been thrown in from the start, he would have just got better. And actually, but towards the end of last season, I thought he was ace. I do. I think I
actually wonder if he'll end up shifting to that wide left role. Like, I wonder if he'll end up shifting to being played a bit left mid.
Mate, he's quick enough, and he's absolutely fucking rapid. So, like, I think, like, in terms of pace, it's something we lack in width. If I'm honest, that we desperately need. The other thing that was rumoured yesterday or Saturday, I think it was, that we're now in the race for Mbeumo, but I just don't see that. I mean, I would love it. I mentioned it as if I could pick a player, like, he would be one of them, 100%. Mate, great player, but and with
can you imagine him on the right and Eze off the left?
Oh, mate, imagine. I'm still stuck in that. I hate this limbo time, because until after next week, I don't think hopefully we'll start to hear some things, because I go through the media every day, right? I spend an hour or so looking at transfer rumours and stuff, and I don't read anything official.
It's all a lot of the stuff
Twitter
now.
Nonsense.
A lot of the stuff now is just like they'll say, key man in the know says, and it'll be like one of us, or it'll be like a tweet. I'm like, what? What's this? And it's all clickbait as well. You have to read past all these stupid adverts that keep popping up.
Oh, mate, people are definitely just putting AI stuff on there, because obviously you put Fabrizio Romano's name on anything, and everyone goes, "Oh, it's fucking definitely happening." So I saw a tweet, or an alleged tweet, that said. And I went onto Fabrizio Romano's Twitter page and looked for all his feed for the last 3 weeks. There's fuck all about Villa on it. Fuck all. There's nothing on there, right? So stop fucking spreading nonsense bullshit. It does my head in, man. Like, fucking for clicks. I know you all want to be famous, right? I just want to talk about, like, real news, real stuff that's going to happen to our club, not bullshit that's just made up because you want clickbait, man. Fuck me. It drives me mad, mate. It really does. So
just to be clear, though, the thumbnail and title for this will definitely be about Garnacho.
Yeah.
So, talk about clickbait.
I'm part of it, mate. We're part of it. I'm just on about for, like, real stuff when it comes to, like, making up stuff that's got no substance to it. Do you know what I mean? It's like you're just trying to get clicks. And so as much as I would love Mbeumo, I just don't see that happening. I think because we're not going to pay. He wants mega money. He wants 250 grand a week, apparently. Like, and if Spurs are going to offer him that, which they probably will, he'll go. So
I heard the other one. I saw a Man U link with that again, but I'm just like, surely he won't go there. Like, he'll go to Spurs, because obviously Frank's there, right? So that makes total sense. But But yeah, anyway, yeah, him and Eze. I mean, it could end up with Spurs. That being their two sides. That's scary.
That is
I do
scary.
worry
I
about.
think that,
I do
I
worry
think that
about
could be a
Spurs a
real
bit this season.
possibility.
I do worry about Spurs a bit this season. I do worry they're going to really kick on a bit.
Well, Thomas Frank's a very good coach, mate. I've been a admirer of him for what he's done at Brentford on the shoestring is nothing short of incredible. You would say that Spurs have got potentially better players within that squad if managed correctly. It's about getting the best out of them. It's whether they buy into his philosophy, really. Because you wouldn't change that winning formula with what he's got with Brentford. It works really well. I know they've set the Premier League alight in terms of, but if you're looking at consistency in and around the middle of the table, they've done that on a tiny shoestring budget.
It's that levy factor, though, and it just seems to somehow mess it up with all these managers. Like I said, you look.
Well, yeah.
I think we spoke about this before, and I said, look at Nuno, and what he's done with Forest, and he failed there because it's a very different pressure. It's a very different type of pressure.
It's a different pressure, and it makes it's all a moot point if you're not going to be backed to get the team. Like if he's expected just to get the best out of that current squad, then you've got to work fucking miracles, mate. Like, so like you say, it's a different kind of pressure when Spurs are now going to be in the Champions League. Do you know what I mean?
Like, well, this is the other thing. He doesn't have. I mean, not saying you have to. Obviously, it's like applying for a job where they're like, "Oh, you don't have X experience." And it's like, well, how am I meant to get the X experience unless I have? You give me a shot. You don't have a European experience, from what I'm aware of. So that'll be interesting. Thrown in straight into the Champions League,
but that has the pull, doesn't it? And if in a way they've got to take a risk, just like we did. Right, this is one of the things that I don't know, other podcasters, I don't even know what it was called. I just saw it on TikTok, but some guy going, Villa are getting what they deserve. You take the risk, you don't make it through, then this is what happens with your PSR and stuff. That you can't complain about it. You just got to get on with it and kind of, and I hate that because all you're doing is supporting the flawed system that it is. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, yeah, we're taking a risk and we have to, but it shouldn't be that way. We should be able to build a squad to compete without the fear of having to sell everyone because we've taken a risk with running up wages. But, when other clubs get away with blue murder. So it's just, I didn't agree with it. And it's like, again, it feels like it's have a go at Villa when realistically, when you look at our club, like, we've got one of the best managers in the league, easily, right? Easily. We've got two of the best owners in the world of world football, right? There is no reason, and yet we're playing by the rules, and there's no reason why we can't do what these other clubs have done. I don't know how to break the mold. That's what's doing me. Every time I look into it, how do we break the mold? How do we get these players like Eze, like Mbeumo, to go? Yeah, Villa are the club that on the up and coming, right? If we can't compete with wages. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's a bit of time, though, isn't it? I think we're, like we said, we've tasted the Champions League now, and all of a sudden it's like Champions League, and so you got to get these Champions League level players in and all this stuff. And but I think realistically, if we hadn't got Champions League the season before last, if we got Europa League, we'd be all sitting there going, "Cool, we've got Europa League again. Consistent, let's get it for the next 3-4 years. Build, challenge for the Champions League, keep pushing," and that's what we have to do. It is a little bit of a steady race. We've jumped within 3 years. We have jumped from relegation candidates to Champions League fighting team. Like the commercial side of it can't keep up with that. There's just no way. It doesn't fans don't just suddenly go, "Oh, Villa, I'm going to buy all their shirts." It's just not the way it works.
No, it's a legacy, isn't it, that we've got to build, and that does take time. No, I agree with that. I think it's just frustrating that we kind of having to take a step forward and we're having to take 2 steps back, and that's because, like you say, because we've experienced the glory of the Champions League last season. It was just magical.
Yeah, I'd say it's kind of it is a bit of a. I'd say it's a bit of a 1 step forward, 2 steps back, but trying to take the step forward again. I think we're kind of like there. I still don't. We spoke about this before. I don't think last season was a failure in any way. I don't think not making the Champions League was a failure. I think we can still build based on what we got. We just have to be smart about it. And like, if we are losing Emmy, it's like cool. But we thought the same when we lost Dougie, and we thought the same when we lost other players, and we were just like, what's going on? And now,
mate,
we
goalkeepers
do
are a dime a dozen. And let's look.
I know
I'm
they
going to
are.
use Man United as an example again. That when they lost De Gea, mate, they've never replaced him. They should never.
Yeah, and I think the thing with Emmy that I would say last season, Emmy was a little bit hit and miss at times. Actually, he didn't have his best season.
No, he didn't.
So he had. I mean, a prime example is that red card on the final day. So, that's a prime. It's weird that Man U were looking at that, going, "Yeah, we want some of that." But it's so he has been
extended holiday now, though. Emmy has, hasn't he? Because he misses the first game of the season.
He's been a bit iffy last season. So, you kind of look at it and go, well, again, from a commercial standpoint, probably makes sense. It is a case of the thing that I loved about him the most is just the shithousery. I just love him as a bloke, as a guy in the squad, and his passion and all that. And yes, obviously he's done some incredible save, like that save last season against
Forest.
Yeah, the Forest
season, mate. Officially Premier League save of the season.
And it was incredible. But also, mate, we were conceding the first shot in a lot of games.
No, there was several.
And I'm not questioning
goals.
Emmy. I'm not saying Emmy shit, or anything like that. No. I'm just saying, I think he is replaceable, but I don't think he'll be replaceable for another Emmy. Like, you can't replace Emmy with Emmy. It'll be a different player, be a different kind of player, someone who's good with their feet, all that kind of thing. Same as he is, but probably not got that element of Argentinianism as he has.
Look, it's a risk, whatever happens, and either if it was true that the little Chevrolet was true, and he turns out to be an absolute will-beater, brilliant. But I think it's a massive risk, and it's a risk that you're taking when you're trying to push forward. You know what I mean? When you've got something great. Yes, he had mistakes in last season, but I still think Emmy is a world-class goalkeeper, and I think with that personality you just mentioned, I think he brings balance to the team. I think he brings communication. I think he brings calmness, and that is irreplaceable for me. I don't think you get that straight away with a goalkeeper. That's something that probably builds over time. And so, having only watched that little goalkeeper against us, in the Conference League, for me, it's a downgrade. So I don't want to be downgrading players. You either want equivalent or better. That's it. It's kind of it's.
But I suppose if you had to think about the players in the team who are one of that ilk, two who will command a fee, three who are on a decent wage and we need to cut that, who else are you? Who are you getting rid of that fulfills that, and that's potentially looking to leave or okay with leaving, or there's going to be offers coming in?
Well, for me, we talked about at the start. Dean is that one, good for his wage bill, and the one that I don't want to go. I don't think he will go, but I think JJ comes up again because of the pure profits, and so
but I think this is more about salary. So I don't know what his wages are.
Well, I mean, if you're talking about salary, I assume Kamara's on a fat wage as well. Because we got him for a free, and that would, I don't know.
What he's in the Gerrard era as well, so he's probably on $1 million a week. No Coutinho's massive wages, so we need to try and get him off our books. He's got another year left still, but
I think that will happen in the next week or so, mate. All this Deadwood will be gone. I just
don't think anyone wants it. I think he'll be on a loan again. I don't think anyone wants him. Like, as in, no one's willing to pay that. So we're still going to be paying majority, if not all, of the wages just to get him off out of our minds.
Well, that's where the hard work's got to come in, isn't it? Because you've got to find someone that's going to take him. Because that, for me, is probably just as important as anything else. Because if we've got to get the wages down, then those are the players that have got to go. Do you know what I mean? These are the little bits of wheeling and dealing that need to happen. And look, to a certain degree, with all the speculation and stuff, it's in Emery we trust, and in the board that we trust, because they're not stupid. Like, all this speculation, which everyone loves and stuff and likes to make crap up, but no word from the club says to me, no news is good news, mate. If there was major stuff happening, it would be all over the media. We would be on Sky Sports every day going, this is a concern. People have had little snippets of it because, it's getting to that 30th of June deadline. So, people want that kind of headline news, don't they? Or Villa have got a sell to kind of make, but, it's all that kind of stuff. But in terms of from the club, again, no news is good news. I think, like you said, maybe it's all been overhyped a little bit. I think the PSR thing would be okay. I think one sale for the SCR could be enough. Whoever that is, whether it's Martinez, Dina, Kamara, whoever it is, do you know what I mean? Whoever has to go.
A little bit of wiggle room in the SCR.
And then I think the deals will start to happen in the next couple of weeks, or do, because if I'm thinking about how meticulous Emery is, he's going to want his squad to go away for pre-season together, middle of July. Right? Obviously, most of them will come back at the start, and but if he's going to want transfers done by then, in my opinion, I think, because you want a full pre-season with them all to get them up to scratch, up to pace, and get them ready for that opening game against Newcastle.
Yeah, I mean, there's also, it's not every club's in it, but like there's also things like this Club World Cup going on that's like messing things up, probably slowing domino effect. It's because some of those teams aren't dealing with players at the moment because they're away and they're all trying, so there's quite a lot of that going on, which is really frustrating. But yeah, we will see. I think we will start to see those dominoes fall over the next 2-3 weeks, and things will start to move, and hopefully things will become a bit clearer. And it might be that in a couple of weeks we're down a goalkeeper, we're down, a left back, we're down a, whatever, and we're like, shit, we haven't got anyone to replace these players.
We've got no team. We've got no.
Yeah,
we do sell a goalkeeper. We've literally got no goalkeepers.
Yeah, I want. I mean, yes, in the board we trust, and definitely, Monchi, Emery, and all that, and Vidagani are doing their utmost, and they're doing a really good job so far. There was the issue with the Diego Carlos sale in January of last season. I think we had, I can't remember who it was that we had lined up, and it fell through last minute. So Carlos went, and we ended up having to get Disassi on an emergency loan. So, there is stuff that's happened that potentially is like, oh shit, don't let that happen again.
Well, yeah, of course. But again, this is the transfer market, isn't it? It's risky business. You kind of do one thing to do another, and sometimes deals fall through last minute. That is the risk you take. And I guess in the perfect world, we want to be as prepared as possible and get it all done. It might not work out that way because, like you say, there might be, okay, if we sell so-and-so, then we can go for so-and-so, and that's how it works. And you don't know, if we can get rid of Coutinho's wages, for instance, then we've got more money to play with. And if that doesn't happen and we've got to negotiate another loan deal, then it reduces the... Do you know what I mean? So there's all these things that we just don't know about. So, again, this limbo, I hate it. I do, because I hate the speculation. I just want facts and kind of move it forward. I know that's the way the world works, and people want to have the gossip and stuff, and we'll do that as well. But I just, when you're trying to prep for August, like, it just, no news is good news for me.
Well, imagine us sitting here saying this. We're not even the one managing the team. So can you imagine like Emery sitting there going, fuck it, I don't know what I'm meant to do here. Frustrating. Like, I mean, also obviously Buendia as well. He might go, and apparently we want, I think, 15 million. I mean, decent fee. I feel for Amy because I always liked him. I always thought there was a player there. He definitely showed snippets, and I think that season he got that ACL. That could have been his breakthrough.
This season. Yeah, it could have been, mate. I think, and I don't know if you remember pre-season, he looked sharp. He looked fit. He looked really sharp. And
he actually came up. No, it was the season before. Yeah. No, in the pre-season last season, he looked sharp. Yeah.
No, and he did his ACL. I think it was a week before the season started, wasn't it? And then Mings did his on the opening day against Newcastle. And so you kind of, you got to feel for him because he's never really been able to bring it back since then. And we said that, didn't we? I think the danger is that we go too far ahead, and I think we did in terms of the players that when we bought in Rodgers and stuff, that he wasn't better than what we had on offer. So, and when you haven't played for so long, it sounds like his Bayer Leverkusen loan didn't go according to plan because they haven't wanted to put in an offer for him, and so we're back to the drawing board with him. But rumours that he might go to Leeds, I think that would be a great move for him. If we could get 15 million quid, absolute. I think that's a win-win, everyone, mate. 15 to 20 million, you'd be laughing all the way to the bank, mate. And if you could do the same with Leon Bailey, then I think it's good business. So let's see what happens with that. I think those two actually will probably be the two players that we'll probably hear about potentially this week.
Yeah, I'd like to think. Yeah, I'd like to think so. I think it's less us. I think it's the other teams moving. I think it's just those formal offers, just getting. You just haven't had them. I don't think. Anyway, well, we managed to waffle on somehow for about 35 minutes about absolutely nothing. So,
these are the best
ones.
Get
this up one more time because I just think it's funny.
Do we think he's coming? Let's like and subscribe, and also donate. get this ball. Let's get this ball moving. Or this could be yours. Let's try and raise £1,000 for Acorns. We love them. They've done some marvelous work. So yeah.
Where are they there? Because it looks like F on the number plates. Is it in France?
It might be.
It doesn't look like France, does it? I don't know. GB11KT. I'm intrigued to know whose Ferrari that is. Just there, and then the Lamborghini next to it as well.
Yeah. I mean,
anyway,
like I said, the Man United meltdown's been worth its weight in gold, mate.
Brilliant. I just love it. I love it. Brilliant. Anyway, thanks for everyone for joining us for this transfer merry-go-round waffle. As Gary is showing you there, please do like, subscribe, and if you'd like to, please donate. If you want to be entered into the competition, I'll pop the link to the video up at the top, but there'll also be a link in the description. Yes, if you want to be entered in, £5 entry. We will be raffling this off before the winter break, so you can get it in time for Christmas.
Yes.
We're currently on £120 raised so far for Acorns. Like I said, if you haven't seen the video that we did before, I'll pop a link up in the top corner. You should get a little card, and I'll pop it down in the comments as well. If you want to just donate, just donate. Like, it's fine. It's a good cause. We just want to do something good here.
Try to give something back, mate. Every little helps.
Any last words, Gaz, or just singing us out?
A couple of last words, mate. That this is the week for me. I think we're gonna start heating up, and I'm just kind of excited to kind of get into July, because once pre-season's in the air, I think things do start to happen. So I'm more excited than this week, because it's not going to be this is all bullshit. Let's just kind of actually see some stuff happening, and that's what. So my final words are:
nothing happens. We get to next Monday, and we're like, what?
Yeah.
What's going on?
We'll see. Well, hopefully we'll do something Thursday to see where we're at and see if anything happens. So keep if anything does happen.
We'll do something on Thursday as well, and then we might next Monday start talking about the Football Predictor, which is a league that we're going to try and start for the new season, and it's basically going to be around predicting the results of Villa. You get points for right result, points for correct score, and so on and so forth. And there will be some kind of prize at the end of the season for that as well.
Yeah, sounds good, mate.
Cool.
On that note,
check us out, mate.
Every week we follow the boys in Claret and Blue.
See
Peace
you.
and love.